What's the deal? It's your boy J Mike, Mr. Athletic, over everything for athletic. What's the deal? It's your boy J Mike, Mr. Athletic, over everything. No hobbies, only obsessions. This is me picking off or taking off from where I was with doing the video series about starting an apparel company. Since the time that I started that last series, it's been roughly 2 years. We've seen tremendous growth in the company and the direction in which we plan on going in the position that I'm in now, right? Early on, before we get into this monster behind me, I wanted to talk about getting equipment and being able to make the money back. You spend $3,000 for a Stalls, IQ heat press. You want to be able to make sure that you're actually generating enough income to pay those things back, which set me off into a different direction when I decided that I wanted to get an embroidery machine. Now, with this being the case, I thought that this investment was going to cost anywhere between $6,000 and maybe $12,000, right? Well, I wound up spending closer to $30,000. And I kind of want to touch on that and how I actually got to this position in the story. I was like, you know what? I'm going to get a single head unit. I might be able to find something used. Start trying to figure out who should I go with. There are a couple of influencers who push certain products or certain companies, and I actually attempted to go those routes. I can't think of her name offhand, but his name is Todd. Her representative, Amina, I believe that's her name, but her representative was Todd with Melco, and I attempted to go that route, and that didn't work. I also noticed that Ricoma had a great deal of social media influence on the market with all the videos, and they have so many influencers pushing and marketing their product. It was kind of tough, and typically in those situations I don't go with either of the companies. I would try to find something either better than both of them, or try to find something that maybe is equal to. But in the process of buying a machine, I came up with the fact that I didn't want payments. And one of the biggest selling points to these companies is that you can finance it. You can know 0% interest for 5 or 6 years. Now, in the position I was placed in, a lot of the cash was already in hand. I didn't want to have a payment to make every month. I wanted to go ahead and pay it and then worry about getting the money back. So I decided to pay off the entire sum of money that would be needed on the payback. But where I had a problem is that no one would take my money. I basically settled on Ricoma or Melco. And I first contacted Melco, and when I contacted Melco, I actually contacted whoever I contacted originally. I was looking for a DTF machine or a direct, whatever it was. I was looking for a different machine on Instagram. And what I didn't know, and what you guys should know, is that once you fill out a form trying to get information on a machine or a product, they send you a sales rep. And once that happens, that sales rep becomes who you're connected with. So if you later call them, they're going to redirect you back to the person that they sent your information to from the inquiry on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you've looked up equipment. And that actually played a huge part in me not going with the company that, Melco, because they did that in the situation. Now, in my head, I was doing some research. I saw people buying the Ricoma 1501s, seeing people buying for $6,000, and they were hardly used and things of that nature. And so I'm thinking I'll be able to find one for around the same, and I'll just figure it out from there. And as I started doing more and more research, I started seeing there were lawsuits, there were a lot of customer complaints, a lot of Ricoma's junk. I started seeing more and more of that the more research I did. So it kind of made me say, whoa. Let me back off getting the Ricoma and let me start looking into the Melco. And the Melco, her name is, I can't think of her name. I know I'm saying her as Amina, I believe. But she's like one of the biggest, embroidery people on Instagram over the last 2 years, or YouTube as well. I've been following her. I just can't think of it right now. But I saw a lot of her, and her representative's name was Todd. And I remember her saying it over and over again. So I tried to contact Todd. Todd never got back to me. So then I think I answered a Instagram on an Instagram reply thing or whatever, and then I found this guy. I believe he was a black guy. I contacted him directly and was like, hey man, I'm trying to buy a machine, and this is what's going on. And I had never in my life tried to give someone over $20,000 and no company would take it. Like I said before, I contacted Ricoma, no one got back to me. I contacted Melco, Todd didn't answer the message, and then I wound up contacting another guy. I don't want to put his name out there, but I contacted him, and he kind of never got back to me. So over a week passed, and I'm like, literally like, listen, I got the cash. I'm trying to pay for this machine. But everything I kept getting back was everybody keeps saying, hey, you can finance this and finance that. I'm like, no. I don't want to finance anything. I want to pay for it cash. So over that period of time, I started realizing, hey, I need at least 2 heads. I want to do faster productions. I want to, scale this a little bit. So I'll spend a little bit more money. So I went from thinking I was going to spend $5,000 to maybe having to spend $20,000, right? So when I finally got in contact with the guy from Melco, I was like, listen, man, this is going to be the easiest sell of your life. I said, look, I got $20,000. I need 2 units because the way the Melco, whatever the 16 whatever, you can actually set those up a little bit differently. You're not stuck in doing one design with both heads. So it gave you a little more versatility. So that's why I was like, I'm gonna go with Melco. So I'm talking to him, and we're going back and forth, and he's, look, man, I don't have to make no money on the deal. So pretty much they have a price that's built into, like, there's a cost of what it's gonna cost to get the deal done, and then there's the sale, which that's how the salesperson's gonna make their money. So let's say, for instance, they're gonna make $4,000 to $5,000, and I'm guessing this if they sell it for $25,000 to $26,000. But they're like, look, man, I just need to make $2,000. Look, give me $22,000, and I'll give you 2 machines type situation. So when I talked to this guy, I had told him, I said, listen, I've been talking with other companies. I'm trying to spend $20,000. So he hits me back after a week of me tracking him down. I'm constantly going at him like, hey man, like, hey, what's up with the price? What's up with this? Oh, I got to talk to my boss. But at the same time, I'm telling him like, listen, I don't want no financing. I want to pay cash. I have the money to do this. Let's get the deal done. And no one was really paying me any attention. So after a week of going by of no one contacting me, I was like, hey, let me call this guy one more time. So I called him. I was like, hey man, what's the deal? He said, look, I can get you two Melco 16 MT whatever 16 whatever. I can get you at about $22,000 to $23,000. I said, well, look, the difference between $22,000 and $23,000 is a lot. I said, if you could do $22,000, get me in-home training, and I don't want the hooks y'all have. I want mighty hooks. Try to do these swaps or whatever. So he comes back like, look, that sounds good. He said I could do $22,000 for 2 machines. So I'm like, all right, cool. So I got 2 Melcos coming, 2 machines, blah blah blah. So I'm sitting up there waiting. I'm like, hey, send me the invoice so I can see the wire transfer. No call, no nothing, no response. This goes on for 2 days. So I'm sitting up there like, what is wrong with these people? I'm literally trying to give them $23,000. No one's there to take it. So then I get a phone call out the blue. It's like, hey, this is such and such from Melco. I'm your representative. I was like, well, no, I'm talking to the other guy, you know, whoever the guy was. And she was like, no, you're my client, blah, blah, blah. I said, I didn't call anybody. I said, he's the first person I contacted, so I don't know how you got assigned to me. She said, well, back in December of last year, you were inquiring about a DTF machine or something, not DTF, but you know, the other machine. And I said, well, yeah, I asked information. They said, well, once you do that, they assign you to a representative, and that's what happened. So I'm sitting up there like, okay, so I contact old boy. I'm like, yo, what's up? So pretty much it became like a little fight over the who was going to get the sale, right? So this lady jumps on, was like, well, I'm your representative, and so this is what it is. So now she's telling me, like, for 2 machines, it's going to be $29,000. I'm like, whoa. I said, I don't need to talk to you. I said, I had already started talking to, I can't think of the guy's name, but I already started talking to him. We had already settled on $22,000. I'm like about to wire this guy the money, and you're coming in with $28,000, $29,000. That doesn't make any sense. So she's like, well, let me talk to him. So she comes back online. She was like, well, he doesn't have the authority to sell you a machine at that cost, blah, blah, blah. And this is what the cost is going to be. And I was like, listen, lady, I said, I don't want to deal with you. I was like, I much prefer deal with the person I'm dealing with. So she says, you know what? I'm going to call him and let him know that, you know, you don't want to work with me, blah, blah, blah. She kind of had like a real big attitude. I was like, all right, bet. So after she says, well, all right, fine. She said, now you work with him, and hangs up the phone on me. I'm like, all right, bet. So I contact old boy, 3 straight days, never get a response back. Like, hey man, what's going on? What's, you know, what, you know, girl worked out. She told me you were going to be assigned to me now, you know, whatever, whatever. So after the 3rd day, I was like, you know what, bump this. Let me call Ricoma back and see what happens. So the guy that I originally contacted, I was like, hey man, what's going on? I was like, look, I contacted you, blah, blah, blah. I'm trying to buy this machine today. What is the deal? So he goes, you trying to pay for cash? You trying to pay cash? I was like, bet. I was like, that's what I'm trying to do. Cash money. I said, but I need the in-home training. I said, I need the in-home training. I don't want none of y'all hoops. I want the mighty hoops, all this kind of stuff. So hold on.
Turning off display, powering off.
All right. So based on the videos that I've seen, you know, online doing my research, I just saw that I'd rather have mighty hoops. So look, if they can give me a discount or whatnot. Oh crap! Hold on. Alright, so let's see if they give me some time. But anyway, so I figured out a way to like, hey, let's make the deal happen. So he winds up coming back and was like, look, I can get you everything you asked for with tax, shipping, everything. It's gonna be like $24,000. Alright, bet. We do the deal, and I was able to get my machine. But there's a lot that goes along with doing this. I will tell you guys, they're going to push selling you on financing, right? So you might say, hey, I got $22,000 cash, this one I'm willing to spend. They're gonna say, well look, it's $26,000 and you can finance the other $4,000. They're not really trying to budge on or negotiate because they have so many people willing to finance. So you coming in with the cash offer isn't going to help you too much with these people. So In my situation, I had the cash. I wanted to make sure that all the equipment got paid for, and I didn't want to have that over my head for the next couple years. I'd much rather pay it all now and just worry about getting that money back. But yeah, it was a hell of a situation purchasing the machine, and the machine got here, and that's a whole nother story. So this is part one of acquiring my embroidery machine, and I wound up going with the Ricoma 1502 two-head machine, and I'll give you guys the next part of when it got delivered, which comes with a whole nother bag of problems. But you guys stay tuned, and you guys gonna see me grow this thing out step by step. I'm going to also give you guys more information on some of the other equipment that I have. Some of the equipment including the Stahls Hottronics 16 by 20 heat press I've had over a year and a half now. Also the Graphtec cutter that I've had over a year and a half now, and show you guys where I am with that, and it might help you guys grow your business out too. But this is Mr. Athletic Over Everything for No Hobbies, Only Obsessions. You guys can go to my website, Athletic Over Everything. Pick up my rookie card. I'm a professional power lifter. You can also pick out some of the cool merchandise I have. But until next time, later.